Missing video archives this week? The good news is you don't have to. You can hear the rest of this conversation and Video Archives After Show by subscribing to the Video Archives Patreon. Head on over to patreon.com/video archives to subscribe today.
The Christmas Tree was based on a book by an author named Michel Bataille. He was the son of the philosopher Georges Bataille, and he'd been an architecture student who had hearing issues, and he had to leave architecture, and he switched to novel writing. One of his earlier books was called 5 Days of Autumn, and it was kind of a nastier version of The Christmas Tree. Yeah. In that it's about a bored rich man who tries to destroy his best friend for shits and giggles.
It's funny, though, because it's like, okay, you have these little leaves of autumn and the Christmas tree. They're both like kind of seasonal tree movies.
Yes.
Or tree books.
It's always about the changing of the seasons.
Yes.
And 5 Days of Autumn became a French TV movie with Michel Duchessois, Christine Minazoli, and Roger Hanin. So this was a known book in Europe, not so much in America. Mm-hmm. The producer of the movie was Robert Dorfman, and Dorfman was based out of France, and he made a whole bunch of movies that came to America that we're familiar with now. Touchez pas au Grisby, Forbidden Games, last year at Marienbad.
Of course, that's the big one I think that everyone is like really knows is last year at Marienbad. At least that's the one my dad always brings up. And
then after he made Christmas Tree, he started doing more U.S. co-productions. Dorfman produced The Confession by Costa Gavras, The Road to Selena, which is one of Quentin's favorites, and Papillon.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, it's all these titles that we've heard of.
This project came together because all four of the leads, William Holden, Verna Lisi, Boervel, and the child...
Is that Brooke Fuller?
Brooke Fuller, yes, thank you. They all were bilingual, that they could both speak French and English. And this movie was shot in two languages. It was shot in French and in English.
Really? So are there two versions out there? Then there's a French language and an English language version?
We tend to know most European films as being shot without sound and people doing the rhubarb, peas and corn thing and just dubbing them later. But on this, I don't know if they shot live sound, but they definitely shot separate takes in French and in English. Wow. And I have seen both versions, and there's little tiny differences between them. Like in one of the opening scenes when they're having dinner, in the American version, he orders a burger. In the French version, he orders the mixed grill.
Interesting.
Or later on when Laurent is talking to Verdun about his parenting before Verdun finds out what's happened, in the U.S. version, he says the kid's not going to have any guts. In the French version, he says you're going to make the kid a sissy. So there's little cultural
differences that would, like, if you were an American watching the movie, you'd be like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't connect with that. So they did change it for that. Yeah. Remember, you can hear the rest of this episode ad-free by subscribing to the Video Archives Patreon. You'll also get access to the Video Archives After Show, where we play never-before-heard clips, answer your fan questions, and even play vaulted episodes. Visit patreon.com/video archives today for all of the details. We'll be back with a brand new episode next week.